to celebrate with Nigeria. Today is Nigeria's Democracy Day, where we rejoice that we are in the civilian rule. We've been enjoying civilian rule, no, not by military, not by decree, but by the principles of the rule of law as determined by the constitution of the land. However, after more than 2 decades, many Nigerians are groaning and they are asking the question, where are the dividends of democracy? Is this what our leaders fought for? The icon of Chief MKO Abiola, is this what he stood for? Is it what he fought for? Is it what he laid down his life for? I remember at that time, Abiola's philosophy and focus was to make Nigeria one of the best countries in the world in the way of being sovereign in every sense of it, being self-sufficient in every sense of it, in the way of people living comfortably and feeding comfortably and having. Is an entrepreneur. He was an entrepreneur of great standard, an outstanding leader, a great philanthropist. So when he started, he created many industries, even went into production of food materials. He had bakery where he produced food. He had beverage industry produce beverages that are affordable, very rich, chocolate in the brand of Coca-Cola and Milo. He produced it at affordable rates, packages, in sachet, in containers, plastic containers for everybody. He had a newspaper industry, he had an airline. So you could see his focus for the land. And at the risk of his own life, he could have gone into exile when he saw that they were turning the table against him. He won the elections fairly and outstandingly. That's why June 12 was not the Democracy Day before. It happened to be May 29th. But when they saw that this democracy we are enjoying in Nigeria is not something that came by chance, it's at the cost of somebody's life, somebody's sweat, somebody's stand as on it. He lost his wife, Kudirat Abiola. She was assassinated in cold blood in Ikeja area of Lagos. It was as serious as that. And one of the painful things is even the national anthem we're having now does not, the former one they abolished or they cancelled or they replaced. Listen to the wording. Say, arise, O compatriots. Now, to serve our fatherland with love and strength and faith. The labor of our heroes past shall never be in vain. To serve with heart and mind, one nation bound in freedom, peace, and unity. You can see that the present rulers and leaders, they have desecrated all this, and they saw that each time we sing this national anthem, each time we recite the national anthem, these children, it will be pointing fingers at them. And one morning and said, well, we don't hear that again. Then they now went to the old one. Listen to the lyrics of that one. I compare the wordings. And I said, Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native land. Though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigeria's all, are proud to serve our sovereign motherland. The labors of our heroes past, they labored for sovereignty, they labored for self-sufficiency, they labored for security in the land, they labored for so many things. So the question people are asking now, where are the dividends of democracy? Where are the dividends of democracy? So what do we expect in the land? In a democratic land, we expect the rule of law. So what comes to your mind when you hear the words June 12th? Please put in the comment section. When you hear about June 12th, you may not be a Nigerian, but please, as a student, as a child, as a being in this world, as a human, on you, go and check about Nigeria. It's the most populous black nation, one of the most blessed nations of the world. Talk about the mineral elements under the ground. We have almost everything in the land: gold, diamond, silver, tin, zinc. Go and check. Before the colonial rule, we are producing bronze and brass in Nigeria. And what are the elements, components of bronze and brass? We have copper, zinc. Okay. Then we have aluminum in Nigeria. We have bauxite. We have almost all the minerals, most of them in the land. And we have crude oil. The human resources outstanding. Whichever country you are in, just look for Nigerians around you. You find Nigerians is almost every facet of the economy. In the academia, you find them performing outstandingly in the educational sector. In the medical field, you find them outstandingly as medical doctors, as nurses, as lab technologists, as physiotherapists. Nigerians are there. In the banking industry, you find them outstanding. In the administration, you find them outstanding there. In agriculture, go and check anywhere in the world where Nigerians are, as long as they have conducive environment. And Nigeria was not like this before. But when the desecrators came in, the wolves in sheep's clothing, and that's why when June 12 is mentioned. So for many Nigerians, it's more than a public holiday. It is a symbol of sacrifice, of courage, of resilience, and the struggle for democracy, so that we can have breathing space and walk freely on the streets without fearing the boots or the guns of the soldiers operating under military, where you don't talk. You just accept the status quo. So many people during that struggle of June 12 lost their freedom. Many lost their career. Even many lost their lives to the fight to ensure that the will of Nigerians will prevail. Yet today, despite over 2 decades of uninterrupted democratic rule in the land, to ensure that life is okay, and the fight to ensure that the will of Nigerians prevail, what do we have? We find it difficult to celebrate democracy with excitement. Go and check the internet and find out how was Democracy Day celebrated in Nigeria. Is that how you celebrate Independence Day for those countries that were formerly, or you call it Thanksgiving Day in your country? It's supposed to be filled with fanfare, filled with joyful celebration. Children will go march past. There will be recitations, a lot of things, people from poems, and there will be music, some fine songs written, and there'll be dancing and a lot of celebration. It's supposed to be a day of joy. But what do we have in Nigeria? Even some years past, even the corrupt government will still try to do something. There's something called Eagle Square in Abuja. That's the federal capital. They will go there, say they will want to do some mini celebrations to celebrate mini march past by the military and so on. But now, what are we having now? Because of their level of insecurity, they could not even do something close to that again. Because they have compromised, they are less undone what they ought to have done. So why is this so? We ask ourselves, has democracy failed Nigeria, or has Nigeria failed democracy? In this discussion, we will examine Nigeria democracy and check the scoreboard and ask one important question. Was the June 12th sacrifice worth it? Like that anthem says, the labors of our heroes past shall not be in vain. Are we wasting the labors of those heroes? Are we making a mockery of the sacrifices they made? The journey to democracy, it was tough. In June 12, 1993, we remember the day Nigeria participated in what many consider the freest and fairest election in the history of Nigeria. And the election was won unanimously by Chief M.K. Abiola, but the result was annulled, was cancelled. And what followed was serious protests. And arrests were made, imprisonments were made, and years of political struggle started then. The military came in. And eventually, after so many struggles, so many loss of life, some had to run into exile. By 1999, civilian rule was restored. That's after about 7 years. 6 years plus or 7 years. Since then, democracy, civil rule has survived for more than 26 years now without military interruption. We're supposed to celebrate that. But are we? Can we? That alone, we can say it's a major achievement. But survival is only one part of the story. So what are the positives of democracy? Number one, we can easily and freely express our opinion to some extent and criticize the government without having the security agencies coming after you. But is that really the case? I remember what happened to Justice Crack. Justice Crack came on air in the social media to talk and to bring to fore the suffering of our soldiers that are helping to fight insurgency, the way they are being treated by the authority, not being well fed, not being well catered for. Say, how can these people that are not eating well, that are not feeding, that are not sleeping well, they are sleeping everything, how can they, what's the morale they have? What's the encouragement they have to go and fight in this battle? What did the military do? They did Gestapo process. They arrested him, they tortured him, they handed him over to the DSS, that's the Secret Service of the nation. And those ones now charge him to court for cyber bullying and all different. They just trump up some charges. The case is still in court. And they just release him on bail because there was a lot of outcry in the land. So you could see in that angle, the present democratic government is trying to gag the people. Secondly, power has changed hands through elections. Whenever they say a term of 4 years, after that we come and elect some other rulers in the land, both at the state level, at the local government level, and at the national level. Then democratic institutions such as our courts, the legislature, and the independent media still continue to function. But a good number of the media presently are being gagged, are being teleguided. You only say what the government wants you to say, or you stand the option of facing sanctions of various levels. So what are we talking about? Before we can look at citizens have great access to information and opportunity to participate in governance. But are we really having this? Are people really free? Have they not cornered this one to themselves? That is, they now form a clique, something like a mafia in governance. That's why people could not celebrate. They move in convoys. And none of them can move freely within their community because of their evil. So compared to military rule, however, Nigerians enjoy a better atmosphere than under the military. But still, this one is like a studio. And that's why people could not celebrate. People could not rejoice. There's gloom in the atmosphere. The painful realities now. Democracy is not judged only by elections. People judge democracy about how it affects their lives. Today, millions of Nigerians face rising costs of food, high level of unemployment, poverty is ravaging the land, and economic uncertainty. Energy is a major factor in enterprises, and electricity and fuel is one of the major sources of energy in the land. The electricity supply in Nigeria is almost in a comatose, highly irregular, so it's affecting businesses. Now, in the alternate to that is for you to have generators. Generators either use diesel or petrol. And the cost of that one is so high that it is not cost effective for you to use petrol or diesel generators to generate electricity for your business. So people that try to do that is affecting the cost of their products. So you can see the multiplier effect in the land. And the another alternative options to that is to use solar energy. But there are so many machines now that solar cannot carry on. For you to have that, you need to have high level of capital, which the SMEs, that is, the small and medium scale enterprises, may not be able to afford for now. So that is one of the challenges. So many communities now face, not battle, high level of insecurity, kidnapping, terrorism, and violent crimes. Even in some communities before, where people will have been able to defend themselves to some extent, they have been emasculated by the previous government to the Buhari. While he was coming to power, he said everyone that had license to gun should go and submit those guns to the place, and they didn't renew the license for majority of them. So people have nothing to defend themselves. So that's why these hoodlums will just come in the night. They will just shoot sporadically in the air, ravage into homes and cut people away. Nothing to defend. And by the time they call on the security agencies before they come, the bandits will have run away and they will just be giving you story. We decry this, we decry that, going after them. Right now, May 15th, that is almost a month ago. Today is 12th. Many students, pupils, from 2-year-old to about 17-year-old, more than 36 of them were carted away from their schools in Oyo State, Ogbomoso, in Oyo State, Southwest Nigeria, with their teachers and the principal of the senior school there. And the math teacher was literally killed on camera, and the thing was posted on the media. That is part of what is ravaging the land now. So as a result, many Nigerians ask, if democracy is working, why are we experiencing all these harrowing challenges? Infrastructure challenges persist with power supply, with healthcare, very poor healthcare delivery, education, and transportation. Come, visit the general hospital, even many of our teaching hospitals now. You will cry, you will weep. Is this where people that are facing challenge are being treated? The wards, the consulting rooms for the doctors, even, oh God, it's harrowing, it's saddening, it's sickening. So that people ask, is this the democracy we pray for? Is this the democracy that our forefathers fought for? Is this what Abiola died for? Is it what all those people that have different Afro Rwani and many others fought and died for? So the gap between democratic expectations and everyday realities explain why many Nigerians, not some, find it difficult to celebrate June 12th. Rather, on the streets today, what we had are protests. Bad governance, away with bad governance. Bring back our children. Where are our children? Insecurity must stop. Banditry must stop. And the president came on the media today to say he's addressing the nation. He was saying that he's talking. Did he use the word appeal? I don't even know the right word he used. That the leaders of these bandits should come and surrender, or else they will face the full wrath of the nation. Do you need to say that? Do you need to say that after almost 2 decades of their ravaging the land? Last week, they literally killed between 5 and 8 soldiers in their barracks. Can you imagine? And the head of state, commander-in-chief of the armed forces, do you hear a military general appealing to the band that have been killing his officers worse than they kill a goat? Say, come and surrender. So, has democracy failed? The answer, surprisingly, is no, democracy did not fail. Rather, it is the leadership that has failed and is still failing. It's the institutions that have failed and are still failing, especially the justice department. Because after corrupting the electoral system, they now say let's meet in court, and they bought over the judges. And that was started many years back with Chief Richard Akinjide when he was talking about 12 to 3rd majority. It's terrible. So accountability is almost nil. The other day, I think it's even this week, was it yesterday or the day before yesterday? The debate was going on at the Senate between Senator Adams Oshiomhole and the Senate President. He said the directors at the NNPC of Nigeria, they had their reports audited, and the audit report was submitted, and the auditor said more than 200 trillion naira could not be accounted for by the corporation, that they should come and explain what happened to the 210 trillion naira. And they were just saying something else. And the senator was saying, is this what we should be looking at? So, rather, many Nigerians are saying there is room for change. And that is why this 2027 coming, every Nigerian get your voter's card, and all of us will now make sure the votes are counted and are reported and transmitted accordingly. What happened in 1993 will not repeat itself. Will not repeat itself. So a democratic system can only be as strong as the people. So we have to ask for accountability. Good governance requires integrity, competence, transparency, and more active citizens in participation. If Nigeria's democracy were graded today, it will receive mixed marks. High scores for political continuity, but for freedom, I'm not sure it will be high scores. Why? Because people, even though government is not just cutting people into prison and jail, but they have allowed the bandits and the hoodlums to disturb the land. So what kind of Nigeria are we building for the next generation? It's a question. Try to answer it in the comment section. Nigeria will survive it. Like I used to say, I repeat again, James Ugugi wrote in his book, Weep Not Child. He said, weep not child, weep not my darling. The raging cloud will not long possess the sky. With these kisses, let me dry your tears. Just know that after the rain comes the sunshine.